you are wearing a pants, a underpants, a little flip-flop, and whatever they caught you in, I'm sure they're not going to give you no Louis Vuitton, no Tom Ford couscous, perfume, or anything to send you back home with. They're sending you home in the same little clothes that they pick you up in. The last clothes on your back is what you're going home with. And so for a lot of persons, if you think about it real good. All right, so for persons who are, illegal and they're here in the state, or their paperwork hasn't come through completely, what is it that I would say to them right now? I'm scared. I'm so scared for you guys. I'm definitely scared for you guys, because I know some of us, we move from our country because we're looking for opportunity, we're looking for a better life. We move because we want better for our family. And even though we never really see the light at the end of the tunnel, meaning, whether or not we're going to find somebody to marry, we don't know whether or not, the age of our children or child is going to be, anytime soon where they can go ahead and file for us, or whether or not our relatives who called us up here and asked us to stay with them a little bit longer, causing you to run off. I don't know if it was a case where, you were waiting on them and the process never really come through for you, or what the situation is. As an immigrant, I know we work real hard. We work real hard when it comes on to our duties. And I feel as though if you're working for so long and you've accomplished certain things in your illegal status, meaning you are able to buy 1 and 2 pieces of furniture, you were able to buy clothing, you were able to save up some money and have it under your bed, because if you're not able to get a bank account at the time, you have to figure out where you're going to save that money, right? So you're probably saving it some other unorthodox way, whichever means you're saving your money. I know that, you being here illegal, you felt as though it was the best decision for you, even though, as I say, you're illegal. I know for some places, some countries, it's hard to say to persons, definitely pack up your things and go back home, because a lot of persons, they came here, for asylum. A lot of persons, they came here for asylum, and I don't know what happened with some of them situations. Some persons came here because, as I say, their family member invite them and tell them to run off, them overstay, and then, they just find themselves in a bad situation. Some persons were in another country and they're like, well, if I come up here, I can make it out, just like how you hear about some grandparents, doing it. They run off for 15-20 years and then they find somebody married, or they get the papers straightened out or something like that, and it worked out for them, and you decided to take that bold risk and try it. And so you're here, but you're making a life in the meantime. You're able to afford certain things. So some persons are able to purchase a car, so you're living a certain lifestyle here, even though you're undocumented. But you have some persons who decided to move from, let me say, Jamaica, because that's where I'm from. You have some persons who decide to move from Jamaica, and we know that Jamaica is very good in terms of a lot of things, because when I sit over here in the US and look back down there, so I see that I'm missing the beach, the food, the people, my culture. I'm missing all of that. I'm missing just getting up one day, walk out a door, and me good. Apart from the healthcare, apart from the crime, and the salary, Jamaica is good. And I'm not saying that no, just because of saying sake. Even when you're in Jamaica, you might say, but it's just that because you're there, you don't really appreciate. You don't come to appreciate what you have in front of you. And so we tend to miss, gold sometimes that is sitting in front of us. Because I tell you, I'm in the States right now, and the life that I had in Jamaica, even though it wasn't uptown, it never, perfect, I felt like, I was a little bit more comfortable with certain things. You understand? I was a little bit more comfortable with certain things, and I'm here now, and everything is okay, just the same. At least I can just get up one day and say, all right, I'm gonna walk down to the road down there and buy, some bag juice. I'm gonna walk over there and buy some lollipop or whatever it is. You just decide you want to take a stroll. I don't have to be thinking about, those jackets, those thick jackets. I don't have to be thinking about I'm going to catch a cold. I don't have to be thinking about, whether or not I need to plan for the snow or anything like that. I just get up and I just leave out, and that's it. If I need food, if I don't have any in my house, I can call to my neighbor and say, neighbor, you have any yam over there? Me can get to your aki, or me can borrow a pound of sugar or whatever it is. You understand? So that was just the reality of, living in Jamaica. Back to the immigration, where we're seeing ICE and, Trump. The Trump administration has been doing a lot of, crackdown. The crackdown on illegal immigration is going so hard. So they're airlifting these folks back to their country. All right. A lot of us are sitting on the edge of the bed and wondering, is it gonna be my time? Because if you realize where these folks are targeting, they're targeting places where undocumented persons will be normally working. All right, so if you have a black community or you have a Latino community, they're targeting different places where they know illegal immigrants or undocumented persons frequent. And so because of that, you find out that a lot of persons are being caught in raids. And I just think that if, this is a situation, I've been here for this amount of years, I've saved up this amount of money, I've purchased clothes, I've purchased, a little, some little stuff like furnitures and all. If I am here for so many years and I'm still illegal, with my kids, and things are a little bit better, I would say for persons, in those situations, I'm not telling them to go back on the yard, but I'm just saying this is what I would have done if I find myself in that situation. Because based on how I see the crackdown going, with ICE just driving up and just literally grabbing people and going, I just feel as though if we are, smart enough, we take what we own in the US as an illegal immigrant and just put them in a little container, ship it off, or in a barrel or suitcase, ship it off and send it home. Because at least you know that your little belongings that you own is with you when you decide to voluntarily go back home. I just feel like, at least when you go back home, you're not going to feel that little embarrassment when you get back down there. All right. And to each his own. As I said, this is just my opinion. This is just my suggestion, because what is happening is that the other day I saw about 7 police vehicles, the SUVs, that, swarmed down on a supermarket, not a supermarket, a gas station. The gas station was close to one of those, they were doing road repairs, but there are a lot of Mexicans, because a lot of the Mexicans, them work hard. Them work real hard. When they come here, yeah, man, they work really, really hard. And so a lot of them are doing road repairs here in the state. And I realized that the area that they were, police officers for days. Yeah, man, there were so many police officers there, with their lights on flashing. And I am like, oh my word, can you imagine these people come out for work today and no, not able to go back home because they're being put into police vehicle because they're not documented? It's just sad. It's just sad. So I just think that if we're in a situation like that, we find ourselves in a situation like that, we know our status, and just because if you're here for 10 years and you can't find anybody to marry, I just feel like it's time for you to say, okay, then money that I earned so far, I'm gonna go back to my country. And as I say, it depends on where, because I know some countries are very, are not the safest right now. At least for some persons, we can say, all right then, I'm gonna go back to my country and try out something down there with the little money that I have, saved up over the 5 years, 10 years that I'm here in the States. Go back down and try to be business minded and develop something, create something that you can make a living. And because you would have already, decided that you wanted to go home voluntarily, you would have been able to sit down in your house here in the state and go ahead and pack out the few things that you have. Whatever you can bring with you, you bring with you. You understand? So I just feel like, persons should be thinking about these, the options that you have on the table and see if it makes sense. So just imagine, as a patient, you show up to the hospital and you don't have any documentation. Remember, it's everywhere reporting people, it seems, it's everywhere is reporting persons, if they have a suspicion that you are not straight, documented, have your papers. People can actually call down the crew to come take you out of the house and take you out of the country. So why would you want to be in a situation like that? We don't want to go back home, we don't want to go back home because, as I say, the opportunity is here. And me, I know definitely that, if the opportunity, I'd gotten the opportunity years ago, if that was a situation and it do happens that I am in that, position where I am illegal or coming over here and I can see where, there is hope, I would have probably taken the opportunity, if that was the only option for me. I would have probably taken the opportunity because that's what other persons that are here did. They saw a way out and they decided to take up the opportunity and come to the US. But as time goes by, sometimes things don't work out in your favor, or the political party that is in, work out in your favor, and so things change. You understand? But what I'm saying is, if you are here and you realize that this is the current situation, they're going to supermarkets, they come into no house, they come into the workplace, they come into construction sites. When you get sick and you go to the hospital, don't you think that they're going to be coming to those hospitals as well to take you out? They'll be greeting you. You understand? And especially if you are one of those patients that already owe tons of bill. I don't know. Because as I said, there are lines that they can call. They have, numbers that they can dial to report persons that are illegal. And even though I'm trusting that, the healthcare industry are not going to be that harsh when it comes on to, patient accessing care, I just feel like, in every one basket, there is always going to be a rotten one. You're always going to have a rotten one. So I just feel like, if you are illegal here, it's going to be so difficult for you to get around and do anything. It's going to be so hard for you to go to the supermarkets because, people are just going to scrutinize everybody that they see that is of a certain race and just think that they're illegal. When it comes on to, the hospital, you're going to not want to probably go to the hospital if you start having chest pain. You're not going to be able to access insurance. So all of those things are additional stress that is going to be on you. It's going to be additional stress that is going to be on you. And eventually, if you don't leave voluntarily, and you decide that, you're just going to wait it out until the perfect time or something will work out for you and it don't work out, I just think that is what is going to cause you to break. That is going to make you, it's going to put you in an uncomfortable situation because you would have had ample time to go ahead and try and fix certain things, put certain things in place to help with you getting out with the little belongings or the little items or whatever you acquired at the time that you were here. Just imagine you're in a supermarket. Just imagine you're in a supermarket and you're going about your regular business, your duties, and somebody just walk up and say, okay, then you're an illegal immigrant. Decide to go ahead and call the number, and when the police show up or wherever they find you, they check your fingerprint or whatever means they do to get your identity. They do that put you in the back of them car and then bring you to a little location, hold you there, the next day put you on a plane and you're gone. Just imagine you're here and you were working, you were saving up all of that money because you weren't able to open a bank account, so you were able to hide it somewhere, you know, whatever it is, but you were doing well as an illegal immigrant, and now this happens to you. It's not like the folks asking you, you know, to go home and pack up your things, you know, and bring everything with you because you're going back to your country, you know. No, they must send you back high and dry, sending you back with whatever it is that they found you in. If you are wearing a pants, a underpants, a little flip-flop, and whatever they caught you in, I'm sure they're not going to give you no Louis Vuitton, no Tom Ford couscous, perfume, or anything to send you back home with. They're sending you home in the same little clothes that they pick you up in. The last clothes on your back is what you're going home with. And so for a lot of persons, if you think about it real good, pray about it, even though you're illegal and you know that America is American dream that you wanted, you know, I would just say pray about it, because you don't want it to be a case where all of what you worked, you know, you earned during that time you were an illegal immigrant, you know, all of that, you know, goes to waste because probably you won't have any family member here to send it down or ship it down for you to your country, you know, or you don't have anybody to access certain things for you because probably you're the only person who knew the password or something like that, you know. So just think about it and make the right decision, you know, look at the pros and the cons of it. And right about now, as I say, for persons who definitely can return to their country because the country is not so bad, I would just say go there and try to make the best out of what you earn at the time, you know, while you were here as an illegal immigrant or undocumented. You know, just go ahead and see what you can make out of it, and then from there hopefully things will work out for you. All right, so that's all I can say on that topic, because I don't really have that much to say. The only thing I say is pack up your things and, you know, go, because that is the only way I feel you can go home with a few things that you saved up over the years. So don't bash me now, you know, just go ahead and think about what I'm saying, even though it's a hard decision for us to make. You know, we have to kind of, you know, make the right decision right now, because one way or the other, based on the speed at which ICE is going, yeah man, they're gonna stop in our track. They're gonna stop some of us in our track because that's just what they're doing, and a lot of persons are happy about that, you know, the decision, because as I say, it's not only the criminals, you know, they're getting as much as they can. So depending on where you're at and what's happening and you're illegal and they find you, you're going to be a part of that crew that is being sent home. So let us just pray for everybody that is involved. Let us just, you know, pray for the families. I know a lot of families are going to be separated, and it's just not going to be a good look for some persons when they go back to their country, and a lot of persons are probably worried about that. But as I say, you know, if you're here making a life, you're living, just go ahead and pack up your things and, you know, exit with your head high and your belongings, with clothes, you know, suitcase on top of suitcase, barrel on top of barrel, or container on top of container, going back to your country and try to see how you can, you know, make it from there, you know. So that's all I can say on the topic right now. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go in, see a patient, and then from there I will definitely chit chat with you later on. Bye.